Afternoon, everyone. I'm very sure all of our participants are joining from Nigeria, so it's still afternoon. how are we all doing today? If you can hear me, just kindly give a thumb up or uh, just drop something fun in the chat session if you can hear me. You can just do a thumbs up. All right, thank you, Muhammad. Okay, thank you, Abdullah. Yeah, my name is Oluwaseun Dabiri, and I'm going to be your moderator for today's session. And we are going to be having a workshop on how to use no-code and AI tool to build solutions. And it's going to be for today and tomorrow. We've curated industry experts within this domain that will be sharing insights with us. Patrick, confirm that my screen is live as I proceed.
Yeah, good.
Okay, all right. You can just represent your state and your learning track in the chat section. If you can see my screen, kindly represent the state you are joining from and your learning track in the chat section. Let's know the learning track that are leading. Is it software development, UI, UX, cybersecurity DevOps? Let's see. Represent your learning track. Okay, we have Enugu software development, Ogun software development, Abuja DevOps, Niger State cybersecurity, Benue cybersecurity. Looks like cybersecurity is leading. Osun State AI ML, Benue State data analytics, Ekiti cloud, Edo State. Okay, software again from Nasarawa, UI UX from Niger State. UI UX, where are you guys? AI machine learning, Kwara State. Uh, Abdullahi from Nasarawa. Abdullahi, can you represent your learning track, please? Ogun cybersecurity. All right. While we are doing that, let's proceed. All right. As you all have known, this AI workshop is in collaboration with the Knowledge Showcase Special Edition that is ongoing. And this Knowledge Showcase Special Edition is a 1 month high intensity innovation challenge designed exclusively for NextGen cohorts of the 3MTT program. And this special edition is to encourage originality and creative freedom, test independent problem identification and solution design, drive proof of work outcomes, and also create visible state level innovation moments. So one of the reason why we are doing this AI workshop is to ensure that some of the solutions you are going to be building during your knowledge showcase are going to have proof of work and also show innovative creativity. And trust me, you need to stay to the end of this session so that you don't miss out in all of uh, the resources that will be mentioned and will be worked upon today. The purpose of this workshop is designed to improve the quality and reliability and functionality of solutions that will be submitted for the knowledge showcase. And participants will learn how to rapidly build minimum viable products using modern no-code and AI tools. As I've mentioned, this AI no-code session is in collaboration with the Knowledge Showcase Special Edition that is going. And we don't just want you to think about the product. We want you to build the product innovatively and also be able to show proof of concept. Uh, for this workshop, you will understand how to convert an idea into a structured project concept, learn how to describe product requirements effectively to AI tools, observe how a functional MVP can be built rapidly using no-code AI tools, gain confidence in experimenting with AI-assisted product building, and also improve the technical quality and usability of your knowledge showcase submission. These are and many more are the objective of this workshop. So please stay true to the end. All right, I'm going to be introducing our facilitator now. Our facilitator, a seasoned expert in Ionic and Angular, Sonny Yusuf is the founder of Hybrid, where they consult on large-scale mobile and web projects using modern web technologies with a career spanning global stages across Europe, the Middle East, North America, and Africa. Hybrid is prominent voice in the developer community. Proven impacts. Sonny Yusuf has developed and consulted on apps amazing over 25 million downloads with multiple titles reaching number one in their respective App Store categories. Education and authorship. He is an author of Ionic by example and the Ionic 3 for mobile app developer course on LinkedIn Learning. As an industry expert, he's currently driving digital health solution at MindLife UK in collaboration with NHS and University of Sheffield. Track record. Previously, he has collaborated with global brands including Microsoft, Samsung, among others, receiving multiple industry awards for excellence in software engineering. With a show of your favorite emoji, kindly welcome to the mic, Sonny Yusuf, who is our facilitator for this evening. Thank you. Sonny Yusuf, over to you, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, Oluwaseun. Hello, everybody, from pretty much everywhere in the world. Yeah, that was quite the intro. Made me look like I know what I'm actually doing. And half the time I don't. So if I don't know what I'm doing and I'm here teaching you what to do, that means we're all going to be fine. Right. Right. So how do we structure today? Um, We have around, Oluwaseun, we have around 120 minutes, correct? Thereabouts.
We have 90, 90
90 minutes
minutes.
thereabout. Right,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so we're not necessarily going to like the aim here is not to try to like burn time. We could finish up, we could not finish up. The idea is not to like kill 100 and like 90 minutes. We just want to get as far as we can and just learn some concepts. So before we begin, I would just make some rules very clear. I a lot of you are coming from different places, so some of you might have specific projects you want to work on. I'm not going to like be very like aggressive about what you should or shouldn't work on. The main thing is that you should be able to take the things that we show and just work on whatever you're working on. So you don't have to follow what I'm working on or what I'm doing. You don't have to use the tools that I'm using as well. I'm just going to use the tools that I'm comfortable with. You can use a bunch of tools. I've read the briefing and they've kind of given you a bunch of tools. And if you don't have any tools because you're not like prepared to that level, just chat to your mates and then they can recommend stuff. Um, Another thing I'll also make very clear is there are no stupid questions. There's only one stupid question. The only stupid question that exists is the question that is never asked. So if at any point in time you feel like you want clarity on something, feel free to just like what's it called? Put it up in the chat. I believe there's probably a few people manning the chat. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat myself as well. So, um, mind you, there's going to be a lot of things. So I can only just sort of like address the ones I see. Sorry, someone unmute their mic to say something?
I think we are good, Sonny.
Okay, well, good. And that is pretty much it. Before we begin, any housekeeping things where we might be missing Oluwaseun, or is there anyone that, has any questions that they think that they need to know before we begin?
Okay, everyone should just ensure that their mics are muted. If they have any questions, they should drop it in the chat session. We are going to get to the Q&A session.
Oh
And
yeah.
if at any time you need any of the participants to unmute their mic, you can let me know so that we can do that orderly. Thank you.
Okay, that's perfect. Right. So and yes, one more thing. I'll share my screen shortly. Please do not pay attention to anything you see on like my address bar or whatever it is. I don't know what's going to come up. We're just going to blame someone else. I don't know. We're gonna blame someone from, I don't know, whichever country where you have an enemy from. Just blame that person. So that's what we're going to do. Now, without further ado, let us go on ahead, and I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah. Can everybody confirm that they can see my screen where they should see something like a Claude tool, right?
Yeah,
Claude tool.
yeah, yeah. Your screen is
All
up
right,
now.
good, 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 good. Right. So today we're going to be building just like with AI, right? And I'm going to be building something that I've actually built before that actually took me weeks. So let me be very clear. Ideally, I should have been prepared and like try to build everything before I come here so that I make sure it works. But I found that boring. I was like, why do I do that? If I'm here to tell you that AI can help you do things, we should face the problems together. So I'm literally building whatever I'm building right now from my head. So it's a real journey. We're going through this together. So if something breaks, we're going to find the problem together and fix it together so that it's very genuine, because I believe that is the true journey. I don't want anything rehearsed. I want things that you can actually see. So this is going to be exciting. So you should be able to see Claude here. Now there are two ways. So this is the tool I will be using. By Claude is a tool built by Anthropic. And so let's go here and let's go to right. And before we begin, go online, is going to take your job away, and we're all going to be hungry and we're not going to have food because the machines, they make it seem like it's umbrella corporation all over. I tell you what, that's not always the case, right? In my personal experience, AI has made me way more valuable than ever before. So for most people that do not know this, I actually studied AI in school a long time ago when it wasn't fancy. So this is working with AI is almost like me circling back. My degree was in software engineering and artificial intelligence, but it was very early on. So I've circled back. I may not have white hair, but I'm beginning to age. Um, so with that said, like there's a lot of things you can do with artificial intelligence today. First of all, do not believe anything that tells you that the machines are going to replace us. There will be a time for that, but the machines are not going to replace it. They're going to enable us more than they replace us, right? And that's what we're going to be learning today. And to use a lot of these AI tools, it's not your planning is much more important. Your planning and problem solving skills are more important than your technical skills to get most things done. Your technical skills are just the things that can separate the greats from the excellent people, right? Um, so, right. So there were, just to bring everybody up to date, there are things that we call models. Models are basically, or LLM models, large learning language models. They're things that these people have invested money in, they've built, and they've put out. So Anthropic have a model called a tool called Claude, which is also a model Opus, and they have different versions. So when I'm doing technical things, I tend to use that. ChatGPT have their own. ChatGPT is probably the most popular one in terms of like just an LLM, but they have their own models and everything. If you choose to use that, that's also fine. There are also other tools that are specific to developing applications, especially web applications like Bolt, created by some great friends of mine, or Lovable, which is also very popular. That's also a nice tool. In fact, I'm going to actually be using, generally, I like to work in my IDE, but for the sake of this, I'm going to be working within Claude. Now, before we begin, I have a paid version of Claude. So I get more like tokens and blah, 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 like things that I work. So you might be working and you might hit what we call a limit or a token limit. And I don't know how, but that's why we're going to go for like a very simple app. And then at some point, we try to just add things if we have time. But if you run out of tokens as well, that's completely fine. But the simple thing we're going to build, I would show you. Any questions before we proceed? Let me just have a look at the chat. It doesn't look like we have any questions. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir. You said you're going to build something. I wanted to ask if you could follow on as you be doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. As I am building, you can follow on, but you don't have to build what I am building per se. I would document every single step. If you have something else you're building or you've always wanted to build, just feel free to, I'll keep it as vague as possible, right? Okay. Any other question?
Thank you. No questions.
Okay. Anybody else have a question? Okay. Right. Okay. So let me show you what I'm actually going to be building. So I'm going to go to my GitHub. So my GitHub is github.com/Sani Yusuf. So by the way, I'm very easy to like, if you want to find me online, like I'm free to let me. So 5 minutes just giving you a quick story. So you might be like, oh wow, we're not coding yet. The reasons why things are like projects fail is not because of technicalities, it's because you don't have the human side, which is what I want to take you on a journey on. So let me open my Medium. Medium.com/Sani Yusuf. I believe that's my Medium. It should be that. So it's /@Sani Yusuf for Medium. Yeah. Yeah, there we just hello. Somebody, or did they unmute their mic?
I think that is a mistake. That was a
Okay, that's
mistake.
fine.
You can go ahead.
Perfect. No problem. So I'm going to tell you about a quick story. So this happened in 2016, the December of 2016. So I'm Muslim, which means when it's December and everybody's celebrating Christmas, I have nothing to do. So it's a free day. And the thing is, Sani does not know how to have free days. Week. So for me, I've always wanted to. That's rest for me. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not saying you have to be like me. Don't. My brain works very different to a lot of people. When I'm resting out, I was on holiday recently in Zanzibar and a bunch of couple, every time they'll see me in a restaurant, they'll see me with my laptop. And we became friends. I actually messaged them yesterday from South Africa. They were like, why are you always with your laptop? That's rest for me. I like to build stuff. That's how I relax. So that's me, you know? So in 2016, December, I read, I was on Twitter and I saw this amazing design by this young fella called Efosa, who I'd never met. And he redesigned Netflix basically to look like this, the Netflix app. And I thought it was so he used Figma. If you don't know what Figma is, it is a design tool, probably the most popular design tool, right? And he was like, yo, like, so I saw it and I was like, this is brilliant. So I messaged him like, yo, these designs are brilliant. Like, what was the inspiration? Like, this guy's unemployed, mind you, doesn't have a job, like, it's very interesting story. I didn't even know at the time, but he was heavily in debt. He wasn't have a job. He was not in a good place mentally, but he had this amazing skill set. And I was like, dude, do you not know what you've just designed? This is amazing. This looks good. This looks fantastic. So I said, he's like, yeah. So he kind of didn't believe me. So I was like, you know what? With your permission, let me take your designs. I have nothing to do in Christmas, and I'll bring them to life and I'll create a real application based on that design for you. And then you can share it and hopefully you can even get a job or something like that. He was like, cool, cool. So I said, treat me like as if I paid you for this design. So I'd ask him for colors. He would give me the color code, everything that I needed to know. So I document this actually. You can go and read about this. So these are some of the things he would give me. He said, here is the H2, this is the color, this is the pixels and everything. So we treated each other like we had paid each other, like I was the developer and he was somebody that gave me a design, paid me. And within a couple, like I think it was like within a space of like a week or a couple of days, we got this app. So this is from him. This is how it looks like. So it's a bunch of movies and series. And then when you click, a modal window comes up with a GIF, like a short clip of that particular movie, like you see in Star Trek here with the details. And we ended up, let me show what it looks like actually. So I think it should still be live. Here, yes, it's still on Firebase. I believe it should still be live here. Again, this was a long time ago, and it might have some bugs. The view we're going to see, be kind. It's been a very long time where I think it might actually not load the images. Yes, it's not going to. But that's fine. But this is actually a real application. I actually even gave the talk at a conference with like language selection and things like that, right? So for today, I can see why it's broken. This where I hosted the API, that particular website no longer exists. So again, like I said, I'm old. So please have some patience. So the good thing I did is I actually have what we call a GitHub gist, which is I took that data for all those movies. It's a publicly available data that I personally went and created, right? And feel free to go and grab that data if you want. So you don't have to. But let's look at the gist that I created. Let's say, let's go older. So you can see that I have this gist. I'm going to drop the link in, what's it called? Get on the chat so you can have a link. But this is a JSON file. If you don't know what JSON is, it's just, it means JavaScript object notation. It's just a way to store data in a way that you can use anywhere in any format, right? And this is actually data with some of them are my favorite movies and series, and that's what I'm going to be building personally. I repeat, you do not have to build the same app. So my app is going to be that app, the Netflix app, where I'm just going to build an app that you land and it's going to show you a bunch of things. And then when you click, it goes and it shows you all the things, right? Cool. So let me drop that link in the chat and I'll stop now and ask if there are any questions. So I've just dropped that in the chat. Can I pin it? No. Okay. So I've just dropped it in the chat. So somebody asked if Medium is free. I've never paid for Medium. I don't know if they make you pay for it now. And by the way, when you go to the gist, if you're using it, just give a little stars, so just to make it more popular. I think we got how many stars now? Oh, 55 stars. So yeah, we could make it more popular if you want. And 39 people, and you can fork it. It's open source. So some people actually fork, they make it a copy of, right? And I'm going to be using Claude. Claude, and let's just wait for it. Internet sometimes can be, so yeah, let's just wait for it. Let's wait for it. What happens the one day you need the internet to act decides that it wants to use I have access to the most powerful one. You may not have access. You don't have to use Claude. If you're using Bolt, you should be fine. If you're using Lovable, you should be fine. If you're using Codex, whatever it is you're using, you should be all right. I, San Yusuf, I'm more comfortable with Claude, and that's what I'm going to use. And remember, mine is a paid version, so I have more capabilities than you. Good. So I'm going to tell Claude that I want it to design this app for me, right? As what's it called? So before you start, what do we want? You have to think, what do you want to build? What are you trying to build, right? I want a simple application where you land, you see a bunch of movies, right? And series. And then you can click each one to go to a detail page. And then you can also remember each one of them has that GIF, because if you go just here, you would see that there is a link called, so we have like a link called poster. So for example, if I take Avatar now and I take this JPEG, and these are like images I stole it, but you can see that there are real images. So you can see like the avatar is even broken because IMDb has decided that no, it doesn't want to allow that particular thing. So there's a great chance that some of these images may not work for us, right? And that's fine, right? So let's look at another poster. Let's see if we can see this poster for this.
Hi, Sonny.
So
Can you hear me?
this, yes, I
Yeah,
can.
please, can you please zoom in your screen a bit? We are streaming live to YouTube, and some of the participants on YouTube are unable to see your screen properly.
Oh,
Perhaps maybe
okay.
just
So
zoom,
I
zoom
think
in
what
a
I'll
bit.
do is I'll just do Control plus, Control plus, Control plus. So I make my screen bigger by
Yeah.
50%, right? Right. So we have a much larger. You can see that this one still exists. One of my favorite movies, I Am Legend, right? Amazing movie, way before he started slapping people on stage. Amazing movie. So, right. The plan here is I want this. I want this particular what's it called? I want this, some keys here, the titles and certain things, images and I think some of them used to have the GIF images, but I think they may, well, I don't think we have the GIF images anymore. I used to have the GIF images that you could use for the preview links, right? But hey, look at that. So we don't have that. So we're just gonna go and just list them out. So the first thing is, let's assume I don't know how to code. I'm an engineer, but like I want you to take out your coding hat. Just think from a product perspective. What do you want to see? What do you want the user to be able to do? When we land, right? We want people to be able to see a list of titles, movies, and stuff, right? Now, what are the things we want? We want those things. So, like as I'm saying this, think of it like a checklist. So, list of titles, right? What information do we want to see? I think the image and the title, like the name of the movie, would probably be right, and maybe like the ratings as well. So if you look at like here, one of the things available is the ratings, like what was the IMDb rating, right? I think that would be good. The IMDb rating, because that's very popular, but maybe the actors in the first page, maybe not. I don't think so. I think something like maybe the year it was released in the first page is probably, it makes sense. So we can see the image, the year it was released, the title, things like that. So you can see this, like, imagine I'm writing this down. I'm envisioning what I want my user to see and what I want to see. And sometimes you have to marry these two, because a lot of people end up designing for themselves what they want. What do your users want is more important. That's the real person that's paying you money. So you can see that we're 30 minutes in, we haven't written a single line of code. What are we doing? We're planning. This is why projects fail. People just go straight into doing things and they don't plan. We want to plan, understand what we're doing, and ask ourselves questions. What are the things? So for example, You can even ask yourself, do you want this to work on a mobile device or do you want this to work on a web device? But if you notice, I'm not talking about, are we using JavaScript? Are we using HTML? I don't care. I don't care. I just want the people, the AI to do something. Later on, I can do the specifics. And some people try to get the AI to do everything in one go. I like to build apps like I'm building a house. Nobody builds a house. You start with your foundation. Then you do the columns. Then you do the wiring, the piping, all of those things eventually, right? That's how I also build software. So I'm going to take this raw version of this. I'm going to take that and I'm going to go to Claude. So I'm going to say, hi, I want to create an application, a web application where I will be able to see a bunch of movies / series and have them listed and show. I have the data for you here. I paste it there and I say, and you can see I have some spelling mistakes, but I'm doing that on purpose because I'm showing you the AI is forgiving. It will try to understand. If it's not clear, it will ask you. So it's very normal to have like spelling mistakes and all of that. So I have data for you here. Please, can you create this for me and have the first page show the title of the film, the poster image, the ratings, and I think the year it was created, right? And then I'll hit enter. And this is where I call it the cooking stage, right? Hilda Bassi and Chef Dami will be. So this is the cooking is taking my instructions and it's going. And whenever you're creating instructions to AI, you're prompting AI, don't try to think about how you can refine. Refining is legal. That is why Dangote is in the business of refining. Refining is legal. So never assume that you need to come up with the perfect prompt for your AI to do it one go. And if you don't do that, you fail. No. Come up with the smallest possible task. Look at what I've done. In fact, this is too much. I could have just said, create the app with this first. I'm assuming I'm going to be refining it and refining it and refining it. It's like when you go to Balogo Market in Lagos, you're looking for something. You walk here, it's up. You don't want to just go to the first store, and if you go to the first store, you don't find what you want to buy, then that means you failed. No, you walk through more stores, some of them will grab your hand, and I generally end up punching them not to grab my hand. And so many people, hey, come on, yeah, young boy. You go to a bunch of places, and eventually you then see what you like. So it's normal. Sometimes you see something you like, you still want to go and check elsewhere if there's something better. That's normal. Use that same mindset. Refine, refine. So the AI is now saying, let me build a visually striking movie browsing app for you, Sunny. So it's cooking. I don't know what it's doing, right? And obviously it knows me because it's my account. So I'm allowing it to cook. I'm just going to check the chat while that's happening. So the write-ups are still very small. So let me make sure this, oh yeah, I haven't made this one large. So it's 150 now. So you should be able to see. Again, you're not supposed to word for word. I don't want you to copy what I'm doing. I'm teaching you how to prompt. So your application could be a manager, it could be a booking app, it could be, I'm just saying, break it down. Don't do what Sandy is doing. Do what you need to do for your own. Just apply this particular skill set. That's it. Okay, so the AI, the good thing, the one thing that Claude has that is very nice is that Claude has what we call preview, right? It has this preview that it can generate an app. So right now, I don't even know what language it used, and I don't care, but it's showing me things. So as you can see, this is not a bad app. It's created something called client Cinevault, right? So as you can see, the names of the movies are there, but one thing is we have a problem with the images, right? So it's done that. So first of all, I like that it has movie series coming soon. So I will say, I'll tell Claude. But the thing is, my data doesn't actually tell what is a movie and what is a series. I don't think it does, right? Okay, no, type movie. Oh, okay. So there is a type. Yes, so that means you see Claude is smart enough to have looked at that data type and it knows that, okay, that there's a type there. So what I'm going to say is, okay, Claude, the images don't seem to work. Remember, they are the poster. So let's see images. The poster. So the poster, and if any of the images has a oh, let's just fix this first. So poster, please update so I can see the images. So let's check that. It could very well be that actual data is using the poster. Let's see. And the posters are just broken. So the issue with, so C Claude is now saying, we're right. My suspicion was correct. The issue is that most of these poster URLs, which get blocked in secure context, are and many are old, dead IMDb links. Let me fix this with HTTPS conversion and proper fallback placeholder. So it's trying to see if it can fix it with HTTP. It cannot. Now I'll replace all the broken links, post a URL with working TMDB URLs and add her. So to try fix this for me, it's saying, I found the problem. Claude is like being smart here. All right. Okay. Let's see. So we're just going to wait for it to cook. And when DB actually something naughty. Okay, so it's a movie database. Okay, it's like an open movie database. Oh, nice. I did not know of TMD. See what it's doing, right? So see, let's give it some time. While that's happening, I'm going to go to the chat. And someone is saying, sir, the data you pasted, how do we go about that? I pasted it in a link up there. Again, you don't have to use mine. You don't have to have data. You can literally tell Claude to generate data for you on the fly. If you're building a booking platform, you can just generate gibberish data or whatever AI platform. It can just generate what we call mock data. So for people that want to use my data because you want to build the same thing I'm building, which again, I actually do not recommend you build the idea you have in your head. Just use the what's it called? So let's see. So let's see. So it does actually, the images are broken. So let's wait for it to finish. Okay. Hi. Seems the images are broken. Instead, can we use the first image from the, if you see each of them has an images tab from the images array. So Claude is saying that it's fixed this. Let's just refresh it and see. So I still have broken images, right? Since the TMDB images to still be broken, right? So I have a bunch of other images, but look, whether or not we have images, look, we've already gone very far. So good call. Let me switch every poster to the first image from the images array. Those are Amazon SSL links which should load reliably well, right? So let's see. So let's do that. I'm going to go to the chat. Yes, can you do this without cloud subscription? Yes, you could do. But again, like I said, when you are using the free cloud or any AI tool that you're not paying for, there is a it. It's so let's just wait for it. It's going to think. It's going to think. I think someone has their mic unmuted. So it's getting feedback, except if there's a question. Okay, we're good to go. Is there a question? I hear somebody's mic. Hi, if you I think someone's mic is unmuted. If your mic is unmuted, please kindly hello. If your mic is unmuted, please kindly mute it so that we don't get feedback. So someone is saying, can Claude create animations? I've never tried. There's only one way to try by going to Claude and because depends on what animations, like where. Okay. So the moderators, can we mute all the mics apart from mine? Because I'm still getting feedback from somebody. Hello, moderators?
We're working on it. Sean, can you please mute the mic?
Okay, so for whatever reason, I'm good. Let's do this. I think sometimes Claude just doesn't bring up the like it does. So we still don't have images showing. So the images are still not showing up. Why? Right. So let's see. Let's see. This is why I like these types of things, like where we can see how I would diagnose these problems, and we can really play around and like try to see. Um, okay, so apparently the issue might be that because this is like within the Claude environment, that some of these images might not actually be like loading. So I'm guessing these are like images that if we were using on our computer, they would work. But because sometimes you have these weird like thinking. So it says it's refreshing. Let's see. We still, so we'll give it one try. I have no images showing. And I'm guessing if we actually open this on my local cloud, which I can do, right? Like, what's it called? That should go away, right? So we can actually do that quickly. And try it on local cloud having. It seems this is a problem on here. Can you give me a prompt that will develop this same app, but for the local cloud code, so I can bypass the image security locally? Yeah, so for those people that may not know what's happening, we actually have a very good app. Let's actually have what we're doing. Like the image is being served. So that's what we're seeing now. But if you look, if you click close enough to know to read that data, look, this is the if the it even won 3 Oscars and stuff, right? That open sidebar. It's open. Yeah. So you can see that it tells us all that information. And by the way, right here on the gist, you can see the awards it won, everything, the score and everything. So we're just gonna wait for Claude to give us a prompt. And while we're doing that, we're gonna look at the, what's it called? So somebody's asking, how can I get a free version? Claude is free to use. You just go and create a Claude account. And if you can use an Android app, I'm pretty sure if you just go on your Android phone, you like the tool I'm using is a web tool. So just prompt on the web, it will still work. That's it. So in case we want to upload our own data into GitHub, please, how can we go about it? There's a lot of ways. You can't really upload your own data. You can create a gist like I did. Like I said, I had just have a gist. It's a very old gist, as you can see. You could just store JSON there. But ideally, obviously, in reality, if this was a real app, it would be on a database somewhere. The people that use things like Lovable, it has easy communication with Firebase or Superbase, where you could just host that data. Yep. So, okay, so this is the prompt. All right, so I can actually take this prompt here. So what I've done is basically I've told Claude to tell me something so that I can use to tell it to do something for me. Isn't that fantastic? So let me just open a new folder here on my desktop and call it 3MTT.ai or just 3MTT, right? And I just open that and here, and I say, create that web app here. And somebody's asking us to summarize. So we cannot summarize anything. Anybody, if you've missed something, you have to go watch it back. But we're not gonna stop to like summarize for anybody. I think that would be a little bit like we wouldn't be considerate of the other people that are here. So if you have some network issues, you can always go back and watch this video later on, or just ask a question of whatever it is. But what's it called? Yeah. Okay. Actually, hold on. Let me stop this because I'm trying to create a proper complicated application, and and I'm just going to tell it. So this is just me telling it. Let me edit this one. Let me go here. Actually, don't use any fancy framework, just pure web. Pure HTML. So somebody wants me to what's it called? So let's say view. All right, yeah. So we can make this plus. Hold on. Plus. Yeah, I can make it a little. Right? I can make it a little bit larger here. Yep. So we've made it a little bit larger. And we're going to allow for session. Again, you probably may not have this. And yeah, so it's created an app for me locally. It's going to take maybe like a minute or two and just create the same thing. I've just asked it to not do too much. So that way we can have the app that we created on the web browser on our local. Now, while we're doing that, any questions so far? And also, what are some of the things that some of you are developing? Is a local Claude free? Yes, I mean, yes, you just connect it to your whatever account. So if you have a paid account like me, you would have the same access. If you don't have a paid account, you're gonna get the same like limitations as well. Yes. So can Gemini do this? I don't know what you mean by this. So you be very specific with your question, Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Comfort, sir, what happens if we encounter this kind of issue when building? I don't know what you mean when you say this issue. What issue is specifically referring to? And yeah, so if you're asking the questions, guys, please be very, very specific. Too much information is better than limited information. So that way I know how to answer it better, so that I have the context. Right. So while we're doing that, yes, any questions? Also, if you've developed something, yes. So yes, Umar, we asked the AI to give us a prompt because we built it online, but the image, we're just trying to make sure we can see the images, right? But because it's being run in a specific context, this thing. And if anybody has built something that they want to share, by the way, on the screen, I'm open. Like while ours is building, they could just tell me like what you want to share. So Comfort, you say your question is when you're building on Cloud Code, the image will not coming up, you face such issues. What do I do when face such issues? So like I said, Claude told us what the issue was. It's because of like permissions, right? So that's what I'm doing it locally. So there are a lot of ways to get this. If you're using something like Bolt, I'm guessing you wouldn't have this problem. If you're using something local, you probably wouldn't have this problem. So how about data? Yeah, so you can tell whatever AI you're using, like just, let's say I was building this and I didn't have any data, just like, okay, just give it an idea, just generate a bunch of data for me, like, and it will go ahead and generate, because some of them can even generate images. Can Claude be connected to your IDE? Yes, Claude can be connected to your IDE via Claude Code. So that's what actually I use. And you can see here with this local Claude, I can actually open this on VS Code or on the web and things like that, right? So you can do that, right? I cannot recommend any other Sami. Use whatever you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with Claude. I was very clear in the beginning. One is not better than the other. That's just what I'm comfortable with. It's like a car. I can tell you I like a Honda. Somebody else would die for your Toyota. No, one is not better than the other. It's just different people like different things. When you build on Claude Online, you can always download whatever it creates if you want. You could just download it. But if you're using something like Lovable, you can deploy. That's much more better. If you're using it locally, obviously, it's actually creating it here in this movie browser folder. So someone said that they want to know the difference between creating an app and a website. There's difference, say, like the website is an app. Not all apps are website, but all websites are apps, I guess you can say something like that. Yes, Cloud Code, you need a subscription locally. Yes, actually, for you to use Cloud Code, you need to have a paid subscription. So yeah. So this is still taking long. You can just right. It probably open up this screen here. I have multiple screens on my computer. Also, like I said, I'm not here to teach you how to use Claude Code. There are 1,001 people that can teach you that online. I'm here to teach you how to prompt. And so I will not be showing you how to connect things. Those are like things that you can go online. There's much smarter people than me that have created all those types of things. So let me just drag this here to my other, what's it called? My other computer. Oh, wait, let me make this full screen so that it's easy for me to take to my other computer. Yep. Yeah, so we can see that we have a bunch of movies. Claude has actually created a filter series. So you can come here. I can see Vikings, and you can see that it sorts that out, Vikings. So what we're doing is let's have a look and say, we can see we have like the votes and everything. So let's ask Claude to actually make this app. So Claude, can you add more details of each movie or series, right? So this is where now we've gotten our app. This is these images we're working, we're fleshing it out. We're asking Claude to do more things for us, like to add more details, right? And let's see what those more details look like. So we're still waiting. So it's asking me, yeah, allow. Yeah. So Mohammed has a question. He says he's pleading for AI recommendations. Again, you could just Google that. What are different AIs? And you can see that I don't want to sit here and recommend because I'm using Claude. You can use any other thing, ChatGPT, whatever it is. And can Claude be used for cybersecurity? I don't know. You can probably do something with it. And what's it called? So let's allow. Can we prompt Claude to write the code on ChatGPT? I don't know what that means. After using no code method AI, would we be required to do any other editing to have the MVP demo and others? I don't know. So here. So Claude is actually doing too much here. Don't need any servers. So one of the things with AI tools is sometimes they try to do too much, right? They try to do too much. They try to be too smart. And you have to almost be aware that, look, they're doing too much. They always want to impress you, right? They always want to impress you. They're constantly trying to impress you. Like, oh, I want to do things. They remind me of like a junior developer, right? That wants impressed. So let's see. We have this, and we have some time here left before we start. What's it called? And so here it's going to come here and update these things so that we have that. Okay. All right, look what Claude has created for us. Look at that. So the local Claude has finally finished and it's run here. And I told it that it was doing too much. So like, hey, you don't need to do this too much like this. So this is what you see. So look at that. Isn't this lovely? So look, we can tell it Assassin's Creed and Game of Thrones image seem to be broken. Okay, let's do this. The Assassin's Creed and Game of Thrones images seem to be broken. Can you fix by checking one from images or poster? And if not, can you go online and find one? If not, can you generate for us? So I have image generation enabled, I believe, because I am on a paid version. You may not have that. And if you try to do that, it might win your list. But again, this data, you can just go and just edit the data yourself or, that kind of thing. So let's see. So you can see this is pretty nice. I like this. Who thinks this is cool? Do a type of one in the chat or do a thumbs up if you think this is cool. Let's see how many thumbs up we get. Right. So let's see how many thumbs up we get. All right, we getting a few thumbs up. Right, good. So look at that. By the way, guys, this is my favorite movie of all time, Avatar. If you have not watched Avatar, we cannot be friends. And look at that, pretty cool. In just what 30 minutes, I've been able to create this app just by thinking. Look, I have not said JavaScript, HTML, React, Angular. Can you see that? This is where a lot of times when you read online, you'll be thinking that you don't know what you're doing because, oh my God, they're talking about Angular, they're talking about React, they're talking about all these things. They make you feel insecure that you don't know what you're doing. But can you see that I didn't mention any one of those things? Everything I've done here, I just spoke English to the machine. I just said, this is what I want you to see. I didn't tell it, do this, do that. I just gave it a bunch of data. And even if I didn't have that data, right, which was something we were probably going to do before we finish, let's generate mock data. But again, remember, I have a paid plan, so my Claude is going to do so much more than yours if you don't have a paid plan. So here, let's ask it to do that. So it looks like it's going to go on the internet and it's going to find like images on the internet to ask us. So which out of all these movies and series, what are some of your favorite ones? I'll tell you my favorite ones, obviously. I like every one of these movies. I've seen every single one apart from Assassin's Creed and yeah, Assassin's Creed is the only thing I think I haven't watched. But every single one of these movies I've watched them. And series, every one of them. So this is amazing. Luke Cage. At the time I did this, Luke Cage was still coming soon. That's how old I am. Isn't that interesting? So you can see Luke Cage, Rogue One. Yes. So Claude is gonna ask me to like allow some permissions. So somebody says Korean dramas here. So in other words, we've almost eliminated coding. It has to do with what you can imagine and convince your mind. You're very close. Yes, you can get very far by just thinking. Your limitation is your imagination. But someone like me that's very technical and maybe somebody that just knows how to prompt, I might be able to solve some problems because I can understand when the AI is limited. Or I can be faster by like telling it specifics because I understand certain specific things. So these are the type of things where we're not replacing technicality. We're replacing like the day I would know we eliminate coding is when you can vibe code Google search. That day, then yes, we can say we've eliminated coding. If you're gonna vibe code Google search or Facebook, you have not eliminated coding. And you can't eliminate coding because somebody's going to need to maintain the vibe coding machine that helps you vibe code the code. All right. So it says it's replaced it. So let's see, let's refresh them. So yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You know what? Let's tell it, do what you did for all the posters of all the titles. Somebody unmute their mic to say something. So someone says, I don't understand the difference between Claude Code and local code. So there's really no difference per se, right? We were using Claude online. The problem is because Claude is within an environment, when he was trying to fetch those images, there's a security thing. It's an advanced thing. You don't have to worry about it. But when you're fetching, so it's a security thing. The person who owns the image is like, this is coming from a sandbox within a sandbox. I don't trust this. They're trying to hack me. So it got scared. But when you're coming from your machine, it knows that it's you. So it allows you, right? So there's no local Claude code. The local Claude code is just a way you use Claude on your machine without like going to Claude.ai. So whoever is unmuted, please, can you mute your mic? It is very unfair if we have a lot of people who have here. There's more than nearly 100 of us. We've all paid attention and muted our mic. So if you know it's you, please mute your mic until, except you have a question. Right? So that's really what it is. I don't want you to get bogged down by the difference between like Claude Code and everything. So now I'm asking Claude, I love the way it's gotten the poster for Game of Thrones. Why doesn't it do it for the rest, right? Because remember where you were hacking our way because those images are broken because my API is very old, right? So now it wants to go and do that. By the way, if you are unmuted, please, let me see if I can find the person. Just be kind and mute your mic because it's not fair on others if they're getting feedback. I think I'm not trying to call the person out, but I think it's someone that just joined, right? I think it's Abdullahi Musa. Please, if you can mute your mic, the feedback might be coming from you. Yes, please. Thank you. It's very important. And Adamu, please, if you can mute your mic as well. And those are the two, please. So please, it's very important. There we go. So how to use API to connect your website with AI web. So you can do that. Tools like Lovable allow you to connect like an API easily because they have connections with those APIs. Bold as well, but yeah, you can try them. I don't know if you can do with Claude. You might be able to. Claude can probably whip up something. So let's see our new titles. Look at that. We have asked Claude to go and fetch the poster for all these movies. So Claude was able to read these movies, know the movies, go online, find images that are royalty free so that we don't get in trouble and do that. So, sorry, Inolua, you seem to be scribbling on the screen. If you could please stop doing that. Thank you. It's very important because we're sharing the screen and there's a lot of other people seeing it. So if you could please use the eraser to clean all the scribbles. Yes, it's very important. Right? Right. So you can see all these titles. Narcos, Breaking Bad. Look at that. I think this looks really cool. And obviously the best movie of all time, Avatar. I Am Legend, Avatar. You know, Avatar. Yeah, so Wolf of Wall Street. So look at that. Yeah, that's really it. Before we go, we were good on time, but is there any like features do you think like maybe we can add to this our app just to make it a little bit nicer? Like, is there anything you think maybe we could? I'm open to ideas. A YouTube preview, that's actually a very good idea. We could ask Claude to go and search YouTube and add the YouTube preview links. That's actually pretty good. Yes, I like that. I like that. Any other ideas? I'm asking because I want us to do things that we didn't think about, right? So yes, YouTube preview is a good idea. I like that. What else? A short description. We already have a short description. If you come here, it tells you the movie plots and everything. So that I think suffices. Can we add a welcome page before moving to the video page? I mean, we could, but I think for this particular app, the welcome page doesn't really achieve anything. Like it just says welcome, right? Like, so probably this thing. So short trailer. So that's basically the YouTube video. We should add a download or play button to watch interested movie. I mean, we can add a download, but we will not be able to get the movie itself because that's illegal. So if you're downloading movies anywhere, you're doing something illegal, by the way. Uh, um, like and subscribe. I don't know how that works. You can add custom segments to the movies by type, romance. Okay, yes. Anie Fok Ben makes a very good play. So I have two great ideas, right? I think those two movie ideas are really good that we can do quickly. So we can say we can ask Claude, right? I think Anie Fok's idea is probably going to be the easier one to achieve, which is let me read it again. Custom segment the movies by type, example actors. Yes, so we can say like, right, we can filter, right? Okay, so Claude, can you add some, hold on, I'm not interested in this. Can you add some like a way users can filter by, I'm not interested. I don't know why Claude is still building. By type, genre, and also actors. All right. So let's add that. So let's see if Claude can add a way for us to filter, right? And then we do the YouTube links last, right? So that means Claude is probably going to use its thing to go to YouTube and find all videos, and then so let's see. Let me add those filters. I'll add genre actor filter dropdown alongside existing type. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Now I'll add genre actor. So yeah. So it's doing things. Okay. Okay, so Claude is cooking. It's cooking. It's cooking. We're just waiting for it to finish cooking. Okay. Right. So let's see. Cinevault. Oh, Miss, I don't know if it's Miss or Mr. or Mrs. But Anya Folk, your idea was amazing, and look at it. So now we can go action, and only the action movies are seen. We can say all genres. We can also say actors. So we can say Will Smith, right? And we can say Zoe Saldana. That should be two movies at least, or well, one movie. So let's see. Yeah, so you can see Jared Butler, Joanna Chris, Mashahar Ali, Robert Downey Jr. Yes. So you can see Stephen Lang, pretty good. Sigourney Weaver, all right? Sam Worthington, obviously only one. Pedro Pascal. This is really cool. All right? So look at that. And then the next idea we had was, can you also go on and add a link to the movie trailers from YouTube for each movie detail? Trailer, YouTube. So let's see. Let's see. So we're telling Claude, can it do it? We're asking, I always like to ask the question to the AI, like, can you do this? Not just because I'm being polite, but because sometimes it may not be able to. I'm just going to assume the AI can. I'm just saying, can you do that? So it's saying, yes, I'll find YouTube trailer links for all 16 titles and add them to the detail model, right? So I'm going to say allow once, allow once, allow once. So it's just asking me for permissions to go and like search the web. So what it's doing is going to like, you can actually, if you go show here, so can one change the name of his app preferred? Yeah, if Claude came up with the app name, if you say Claude change the name to again, Claude is just listening to you. So if you tell Claude, I don't want this, just, yeah, you tell it, any AI, if you just say, go and do this, as long as you can do it, the AI can do it, right? So somebody had a question. Let's say I'm creating an app for my arts. How do I add the videos manually? Well, that means you'd have to have, this is a much more complex application that actually allows you to upload, that has a server side somewhere, obviously. So you need to build an app first that allows you to do that with a server side. And that's why when people say, oh, we're eliminating coding, for example, someone like yourself would not know because you don't have the technical background. Lovable can get you far. You can prompt your way around that, but you're going to spend a lot of money because you wouldn't know how to. And that's just not because you're a bad person or you're not smart. It's just you don't have the knowledge, and that's okay. And that's where you acquire the knowledge and the AI can actually help you, right? So let's see. YouTube is blocking for some reason. So it says YouTube is blocking. I'll use YouTube search URLs, which open right results. Actually, a better approach, I'll construct YouTube search links that will go directly to the search result for each trailer and look up the known trailer IDs from their sources. So Claude is basically running into problems itself. These sources. Let me take the most practical approach. I'll use YouTube search links that will take users directly to the search. So Claude is like, well, I cannot share. It's not, YouTube is not allowing me because obviously YouTube is blocking Claude. But it says it will just create like a link so that when you click it, it will just open the YouTube and the trailer will come up, which is still smart. So you can see that it's thinking. It's saying, well, this is not working. So let me try this. Oh, this is not working. Well, let me try this. This is not working. Let me try this. And I think for our last idea, what if we generate like some movie? Let's see if we can ask Claude to generate, like, we have 16, 4 more movies that just don't exist. It can just generate 4 movies with like trailers that, because I know Claude, I believe Claude does image generation. That's what we call multimodal, right? So which means it has different modes. Some LLMs are just text only. Some LLMs are, what's it called? Some LLMs are text only, some are video only. Claude is kind of multimodal. So let's say, let's ask it to do that. So Claude, can you add 4 more titles to make it 20? But these are movies and series you would come up with and generate proper images and actors and plots for. Nothing, let me be very clear to one, nothing inappropriate, please. Because I have to tell the machine, hey, see, Sani cannot spell inappropriate. Right. So let me add that. So let's check our new, let's go I Am Legend, watch trailer. So let's see what it does. It just takes me to like a YouTube. So, which is very smart. It just basically says, it searches I Am Legend official trailer on YouTube, and then I can watch it because it couldn't get me the link because YouTube does not allow it, because you can block an AI from like scanning your site. You can't block the AI. So that's what AI, because if Google allow AIs to just scan YouTube, then they're not going to make money. They rely on adverts. So it makes sense that they will block it, right? Right. So let's do this. Let's see if it can do that. Can we add a search bar where your users can search for his favorite movie or actor without scrolling too much? And we already have a search bar. We already have that here in the search bar. Yes. So let's see if it can generate like a fake movie for us, right? Let's see if it can do that. Okay, so it's not actually generating it. It's actually going somewhere online and finding things and then adding them. Okay, but can you actually generate your own images and movies from scratch? Add 5 more that you did not. If you can, right? So I'm telling it like, hey, I don't want you to just go and like get things from like I want you to actually generate your own. Like I want you to like create something from scratch. So let's see, it's added the ones that it got for us. So you can see Midnight Protocol, House of Dragons. It went and added these. They were not here. The Last Cartographer, right? It's just using like Ember and stuff. So it's just like it went online and just got House of Dragon, but I wanted to like generate its own images. So you can use Claude to develop anything, Mr. Chinedu. You can use it to develop whatever you want, as long as like obviously you would need to have like some maybe engineering background because now you're asking Claude to generate a software, right? So let's see. So okay, so Claude says I can't generate images from scratch. I don't have image generation capabilities. What I can do is create style placeholders. So you can see Claude says it cannot generate images from scratch. So I was wrong, right? It cannot. So that's it. So which means we're pretty much good to go. I think we could probably take a pause here and maybe start wrapping up. It's 5:30. And yeah, so and start maybe taking some questions and stuff like that, right? I think we're yeah, I think we've done a lot today. You know, we've done some cool things.
Hi, Sonny, can you hear me?
Yes.
We have less than 5 minutes for your session to.
Yes, yes. So do we have any questions? We have 5 minutes. I mean, I've been answering them as we go, so I don't think so. You have me for another 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have questions, kindly drop in the chat session, or you can just signify if you like to speak. I will unmute you, but
Yep.
preferably drop your question in the chat session. So I'm going to be looking through our YouTube live. Um, I'm going to be looking through our YouTube live stream to see if we have questions there. We're
No
also
problem.
looking through this.
Yeah, so people are asking how we can like link the app. Like again, if you're, it depends on what tool you're using. Claude can give you a link where it hosts. If you're using Lovable, probably our bot is better because they actually generate a link for you. Or if you have the skill, you could just download it on your local machine and then host it or by yourself on whatever server you want. The only way you can have a link is with a server. And somebody asked what an IDE is. That just means integrated development environment. So like Visual Studio Code or WebStorm or Cursor. Can I use AI to code an app like Waste to Wealth? I don't know what Waste to Wealth is, so I can't answer that
Okay,
question. As data
we
analyst,
we have a very interesting question on YouTube. So someone asks, Who owns the intellectual property right for what is built using vibe coding?
That is a question that everybody's still trying to answer. Like, should the LLMs even be allowed to like read? Like, for example, the LLM can go and read my tweets. Should it be allowed to? If somebody's paying for the LLM and the LLM went and got an image and use that image to create like so this is we're still new in the world. There's a whole, I mean, there's a lot of people suing ChatGPT because like you have seen all these like apps that can like generate music based off of another person's music. If an LLM listens to my song and is able to generate a song, like you've seen recently this song Papa Ute has gone viral again, right? It's a very popular song by Stromae. And there's an AI version of it that's gone viral. Où est tu papa? Dis-moi où est tu papa? Papa où t'es? It's a French song. Sans même la rifaler. But the AI version has gone viral. Almost has the same views. So every time somebody listens to the AI version, they're not listening to the original version. So you can actually make the case that they are stealing from the owner. So this is a whole new field of intellectual property that we don't know. We're still just trying to figure out because we don't know, you know. So that's the thing. I don't have those questions, but they're fantastic questions. Can we get a guide material on this workshop? Okay, I want a recommendation. I can upload my own personal content on my app and not AI generated. Again, you'd have to create an app that allows you to do that, right? As a data analyst, can you use Cloud Code to create dashboards? Probably yes. I've used Cloud Code to create dashboards. Now, whether or not those dashboards can be reused beyond that is that, yeah. I mean, what we're seeing here is a dashboard. It's just a dashboard of movies. Yep. So yeah, so we'll take a few questions. And before I leave, like I said, it's very easy to find me online. Just search Sani Yusuf everywhere. The platform I'm most active on is Twitter. If you do send me a message on Twitter, if you're tweeting at me thinking I'll see it, I'm probably not going to see it. I have like 25,000 people that tweet at me every day. I'm not going to see it. If you do have a question, you can send it to me via DM. I might see it because I get hundreds of those. You don't want to know how many scams and things, and I'm not calling you a scammer. So there's so many messages. I just tend to like be very, very like intentional. So I may not see yours. It doesn't mean like I'm ignoring you. It may just seem that either you haven't formulated your question or I haven't got the time. After all, I'm human, or I just didn't see it. Right? I get tons of them. So be mindful of that. Can I use AI to build an app and it will be available on the App Store for people to download? Yeah, you can use an AI to write your own mobile app, but the AI might be limited because for Apple you need to like do a lot of things to to push through. So the AI might help you write the code, but you probably still need to like. I don't think there's an AI tool that allows you to go straight to the App Store. Not yet. When done with building, sir, where we get a link to access, how do we get it? So like I said, I'm not building this for you to access. I'm probably not going to post this code. I'm building it. The aim was not for you to access this. It's to show you how the idea is that you should be able to watch this video. If you want to build the same app, you can go and get the data, prompt it, and build the same thing for yourself. Right. So for that very reason, I wouldn't be like uploading it online to like it doesn't help anybody. Right. You can watch this video again. I joined behind schedule. How do we access to Claude? Claude is free with limitations, just like any other thing. So, you don't have to use Claude. Again, let me repeat. I'm very comfortable with Claude. Yeah, so if you're talking about yourself, whatever AI tool normally gives you a way to download your code and instructions on how to run it, you can ask it there. Yeah. I don't know
All
what
right,
you mean
thank
by
you so
pushing.
much, Sonny.
Yeah.
For our participants, the recording of this will be available, and some of the tools and resources that Sonny used, like the GitHub gist, will also be made available to us after the
Yeah.
session. Thank you so much, Sonny. Can you react with the love emoji to appreciate Sonny for this
Thank you.
awesome session? Thank you, Favor, Yunus. Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and we hope to have you again. Maybe have the part two of this session. Yeah.
Anytime.
All
I'll be
right.
more than happy to help.
All right. Just give me a moment to share my screen again. Okay, we are done with our QA. All right. Hamzat, are you there? Can you hear me? Hamzat, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, can hear you.
Okay, okay. Would you like to take over from here?
Yeah, just Sonny, thank you so much for helping us. I think this has really been good. I myself stayed from the beginning to the end. I completely enjoyed the session, so we really appreciate you. Can please everybody just like notes appreciation in the chat, please. Just like if you know Son is very busy, but he made out that time for us today. So we really appreciate you guys. Again, we'll continue this again tomorrow. So in case you practice all of the things that Sonny already shared today, and you don't, you still have questions, tomorrow will be a good time as well to be to bring up those questions and be able to get them answered. But I think today's session was was a eye opener for a lot of people, and I think that was just really great. And we hope that this kind of helps you guys as you're thinking through what solution to work on for your knowledge showcase. Again, don't forget that the competition is on till the end of the month, and there is again, if you don't have access to this, ask your community manager, and there is a guide that gives you all the information that you need to know about the knowledge showcase. What the submission requirement is, what are the specific dates for the solutions to be submitted, and all of those details. You can find the guide. Just send a message to your community manager or send a direct message, to the 2MTT customer support. Happy to be able to provide that information to you. But again, just before we wrap up everything, just want to thank everybody. I think we had quite a number of people. We had 100 plus people on Zoom live, and we had people on YouTube, more than 300 people as well on YouTube. Right now, about 335. So it's just really great to see that quite a number of you are following, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you all very much, and see you guys again tomorrow. And thank you, Sonny, once again. Really appreciate the time, and I love the fact that you just created everything right, and you gave us the opportunity to see how you debug the whole issues in real time. So thank you so much. I think that approach was really great for learning. So thank you all very much, and see you again tomorrow.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you. If you have further questions, you can drop in your respective state community platforms, WhatsApp, Telegram, and be sure that it will be given the required attention. All right. Bye, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your day.